Students are fed up with the conditions of the Panther Shuttles. Find out what measures are taking place to fix the issue.
The new construction of off-campus housing has provided another housing option for Georgia State students.
And with gas prices reaching $4 a gallon, GSU students are beginning to feel the pain at the pump. Good evening, I'm Richard Moy.
And I'm Satara Coote.
Sequestration cuts could go into effect this Friday. Sequestration cuts are the result of last year's fiscal cliff compromise from Congress. Now the President and Congress still face $85 million in federal spending cuts. The White House broke down the proposed cuts state by state. In Georgia, the biggest impact would be on the military, school funding, and national parks. The military in Georgia faces $190 million lost in pay, $29 million for school funding, and 5% budget cuts for national parks.
Lately, the Department of Auxiliary Services and Support has received an inpouring of student complaints. Panther Shuttle maintenance and driver conduct has been a major concern. Reporter Jay LaBelle set out to find how the department is handling the student concerns.
The Panther Express shuttles have become essential to both commuter students and residents at Georgia State University. But complaints about the customer service and maintenance has left a lingering question. Will First Transit continue to serve as a contractor for the Panther Express shuttle?
We do have an aging fleet of buses, and we are in the process, as you may be aware, we did a 10-year plan, which we invited students, faculty, and staff, the GSU community last year, to do a full comprehensive 10-year plan on what we could do to improve parking and transportation as a whole. As part of that plan came out that we definitely need to be looking at getting new buses. And so we're actually in the process of doing an RFP to get a new or possibly the same vendor, depending on the bid process.
Although there has been talk of issuing a request of proposals to dismiss First Transit and find a new contractor, many students have found their experiences with the bus operators to be pleasant.
I've always found the bus drivers to be extremely personable and actually really nice. As far as personal experience, I get on, I say thank you, get off, say thank you. They always respond. They never act like they don't see you. So I just was kind of shocked to see it in the signal. I've been on several buses that have broken down where they had to send rescue buses on the way to, shuttle us off to the school. So I've had my few experiences, but I try to stay pretty optimistic about it. But knowing that our student fees are going towards these things, I feel like they could be a little bit better. Like I said, the bus drivers are great, but the buses definitely could use some upkeep.
Well, right now, the attitudes with the students are great. I haven't had any complaints with the students. I know a lot of students because I work Turner Field, the Commons, red route, blue route, green route. I've done it all. I've been here 4 years, so, everything right now is pretty good. I don't hear any complaints from the students at this time, and all the operators are doing the best they can. We do reroute in the mornings because of traffic on Capitol Avenue, so we try to get them there quick as we can, as safely as we can.
There have been very few complaints this year, and those complaints that have been filed are, according to Chris Connolly, inevitable to happen in customer service. As of now, First Transit will continue to be the contractor for the Panther Express shuttle. Jay LaBelle, Panther Report.
Governor Nathan Deal plans to reevaluate proposed funding cuts to Georgia's technical colleges. These cuts could lead to layoffs, elimination of programs, and campus closures if not changed. His original plan called for a budget cut of $24 million for the 2014 fiscal year.
New housing on Cortlandt Street is being constructed. Stephanie Chanak received mixed reviews from on-campus residents about the new housing project.
Students are constantly choosing between living in their own apartments or in college dorms. However, by fall 2013, there will be off-campus housing that offers students a little of both worlds.
It can get annoying, constantly showing your Panther ID when I've seen the same RAs over and over. They know I live there.
It's not really worth paying as much money to live on campus because I know for a fact that if you live off campus, you're saving them about a good $600. Here, you're actually putting yourself in debt, more debt financial aid-wise, and it's not worth it really.
112 at Cortland will house 290 students and be 22 floors high. It will offer amenities like free tanning beds, grilling stations, and a rooftop pool.
But honestly, I don't think it's going to be what they think it's going to be.
I've heard that like it's supposed to come fully furnished, and I just feel like something's up with that. Like it's too good to be true.
I chose 112 because it's close to Georgia State campus, which I go to, and it was convenient for me to stay there in the summertime if I needed to.
112 is now leasing 16 different fully furnished floor plans, prices ranging from $745 to $1,170 per person.
People can't fork that out, $700 a month.
Not at all. I can't afford it. You need to have a job to do something like that.
Panthers, be sure to make the right decision when choosing housing this fall. This is Stephanie Chaynock with Panther Report.
The Georgia House of Representatives approved major changes to MARTA, according to the Associated Press. Atlanta's public transit would have to privatize many resources, from payroll to technical support. Also, the House bill allows MARTA to have more flexibility on where it would like to spend its revenue. AAA says the average Atlanta price for gasoline went up 40 cents in the last month. Vonia Scoverdanova got a student reaction to the gas price increase.
Gas prices have been a major concern to Georgia State students due to the high increase in prices. The prices for gas have gone up for 36 consecutive days and counting. According to AAA, average Georgia prices for a gallon of regular unleaded is $3.77, slightly below the national average of $3.78. Prices in Georgia have increased by 21 cents in 1 week alone and 47 cents in a month, while the national average has increased 14 cents in a week and 46 cents in a month. Georgia State students expressed their concerns over the high prices.
I heard people who spent like $50 to fill up on gas.
Tough decision, knowing that I can't put a lower grade gas into my car, but sometimes I want to. So it impacts me.
Some students have found other ways to save gas.
I would keep a hybrid because I think you spend a lot less.
AAA experts have said that the reasons for the high increases are that the U.S. refineries are performing seasonal maintenance and making the switch over to summer blend gas production. Until prices begin to drop, GSU students have only one thing to say.
Stop the madness. Stop the madness.
Even though gas prices are increasing, AAA experts predict gas prices for the spring will not surpass the high prices of 2011-2012 years. Reporting from downtown Atlanta, Vanya Skordanova, Panther Report.
Coming up next,
Find out what happened here at the Capitol on Monday that could allow guns on campus.
Georgia's getting millions of dollars. Stay tuned to find out how that money is going to be spent.
Good morning, Atlanta.
Does it feel like your alarm clock goes off earlier every morning? Do you have trouble waking up? Have you seen a doctor about this? If not, you can get your daily dose of caffeine at Saxby's.
This past Tuesday, there was a rally on the steps of the Georgia State Capitol to remember 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. This is just weeks after what would have been Martin's 18th birthday. Martin was shot and killed 1 year ago on February 26th by a neighborhood watch volunteer. That date was commemorated outside of a Sanford, Florida courthouse. It was attended by community leaders and students singing happy birthday. There was also a community peace walk as well as a fundraising event that included the parents of Martin and the Reverend Al Sharpton.
here is Phoebe Dowells with your Signal update.
Hi, you're watching news with the Signal at Panther Report. I'm Phoebe Dowells. This week in News with the Signal, nursing was ranked the #1 major to change the world. The Signal has a story about it in the February the 26th issue. You can pick up a copy of the paper on Signal newsstands around campus. Also, the smoking ban at Georgia State is deemed ineffective. Students do not see the benefit and many are unaware of it. Other articles you can read in the Signal's February the 26th issue are articles about the rise in unemployment and an overview of this past week's SGA meeting. In this week's Signal's sports section, read about the challenges student athletes face when having to balance out a schedule in both the classroom as well as the weight room. And finally, make sure to pick up a paper to find out who is the Panther of the Week. This is News with the Signal at Panther Report. I'm Phoebe Dowells.
If House Bill 29 passes, Georgia State University could see registered firearms allowed on campus. I spoke with a supporter of the bill and got why he thought firearms on campus would be beneficial.
We'd like students not to be stripped of their right to self-defense the second they cross the invisible line onto the campus boundary in pursuit of higher education.
Robert Eager is one of many students who are fighting for the right to carry guns on college campuses. Georgia law currently prohibits that right. As the campus leader of the Georgia Tech chapter of Students for Concealed Carry, Eager feels that students shouldn't have to compromise their right to self-defense when in a life-threatening position.
This is simply allowing people to have a last resort defense of themselves and their person, as before when they're having to wait for the police to arrive. When seconds count, the police are only minutes away.
And that right for self-defense may come sooner than students think. State representatives held a committee meeting on Monday presenting 3 House bills that would repeal some of Georgia's anti-gun laws. Eager, along with other members of Students for Concealed Carry, attended that meeting. Here at the Capitol on Monday, leaders presented House Bill 29, and if passed, students might be able to carry weapons on campus. But just down the street, students at Georgia State University feel differently on the subject.
I'd be so worried. I would not want to be here at the school, actually, if I knew that was happening.
While not everyone on Georgia State's campus is against guns, an overwhelming number of students didn't like the thought of weapons being allowed on campus.
Every day, 45% of the general population, of course a smaller population of college students, carry their concealed firearm with them. We want these people to be able to carry, just as they would any other day, a concealed firearm, not a classic media-style image of an assault rifle with them in a classroom.
So, while students like Eager feel that carrying a firearm is a basic right,
and there's no reason to really have one here.
Many Georgia State students didn't see it as a right, but as a hazard.
If somebody comes into your home, I do feel like you should protect yourself. But a public place, like, a college campus, I don't think that you should be able to.
The federal government is stepping in to help with a major Atlanta issue. A new federal grant will help house 150 homeless Georgians. Reporter Stephanie Joy has more on the story.
Atlanta is the poorest city in the United States for homeless children. Today, the fastest growing group are children under age 9. Georgia will get $4.1 million from a federal grant that recently passed. With thousands estimated to be homeless in Atlanta, the money's mission is to house 150 homeless Georgians. Charlie spoke to me about his experience being homeless.
If job and housing come along, I would love to stay in the city of Atlanta and prosper here, which I will. But if nothing comes along, then, I'm not a drifter, but I do move on, you know what I'm saying?
According to Charlie, instead of accepting handouts, homeless people would rather be given the chance to earn the money themselves so that the grant can last longer.
I want to work because they come in here Monday, they come in Tuesday, they come in Wednesday, I'm not saying stop feeding the homeless, but slow down, let them know that way some of them get up and do something for themselves. Now, a lot of them like trying to work, but there are some that will work, you feel me?
Like yourself.
Of course. I work anywhere.
Georgia's $4.1 million comes from a $98 million federal grant program. Community involvement in combination with this program will help give more homes and hope to the homeless. Stephanie Joy, Panther Report.
A woman says she was assaulted by a man after she confronted him for having his pit bulls off-leash at a public park downtown. The woman said she was on a play date with several children at a skate park in Old Fourth Ward when the man told the children to play somewhere else because his dogs were there first. The woman said she was near the playground with 2 other moms and their young children when the incident took place. She said one of the moms tried to reason with the man, but it only made things worse. She said when she pulled out her cell phone to get a picture of the man, he rushed toward her and slapped the phone out of her hand. The woman's phone recorded it all. The mother said she wants other parents to see the video to be able to avoid a similar confrontation with the man. Atlanta police said officers arrested 53-year-old Luis Rivera on Friday and charged him with simple battery.
Georgia State has opened a new advisement center. Anna Nardi spoke with advisement leaders to find out how the new advisement center will improve student success.
This week marks a new beginning for academic assistance at Georgia State University. With the opening of the University Academics Center, students are now able to get academic advice 24/7. Assistant VP for Student Retention, Allison Calhoun Brown, said,
the main goal and mission of the new Advisement Center, the University Advisement Center, is to effectively serve the advisement needs.
Director Carol Cohen went on to say,
well, basically, we opened the University Advisement Center to provide a better ratio of student to advisor. Previously, at the university, the advisor-student ratio was about 1 to 1,000 in some of the colleges, and with the hiring of the new 42 advisors, we are now going to have a 1 to 300, and we'll be able to provide a lot more services such as academic advising, providing resources. Undecided students will be able to have more opportunity to meet with an advisor to decide on a major, and just be able to see the students more and develop a more long-term relationship with the students.
the new University Advisement Center is located at 25th Park Place. Students are welcome to come anytime, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:15 p.m. Seniors are still advised to visit their Office of Academic Assistance for their major.
GSU Campus Moviefest will screen its finalist work tomorrow at the Rialto Center at 7. The Campus Moviefest will showcase 5-minute short films from GSU students. The winner could receive $20,000 in prizes and a trip to Hollywood. Speaking of Hollywood, the Oscars was this past Sunday night, with the big winner being Argo, directed by Ben Affleck. Other winners include Daniel Day-Lewis for Best Actor in Lincoln and Jennifer Lawrence for Best Actress in Silver Linings Playbook.
The Waffle House at Underground Atlanta has begun charging customers a 20% surcharge to all checks. The 24-hour restaurant added the surcharge to help pay for an off-duty police officer to provide security. Waffle House spokesman Pat Warner said, quote, "That area has a lot open around there late at night, so we felt it was needed." Waffle House is giving customers notice about the extra fee by placing a sign on the door. Up next is Sean White with your sports update.
Good evening, I'm Sean White with your Panther Report sports update. The Atlanta Falcons are still lobbying for Tony Gonzalez to return for one more season. Gonzalez hasn't officially announced his retirement, but he said repeatedly he was 95% certain the 2012 season will be his last in the NFL. Gonzalez, who turns 38 today, is a 13-time Pro Bowler and holds NFL records for touchdown receptions and reception yards by a tight end. Falcon General Manager Thomas Dimitroff said, "There is no firm timetable for Gonzalez to make a decision." Last Saturday, a terrible multi-car wreck took place moments before the end of the nationwide series race at Daytona International Speedway. 28 fans were injured after Kyle Lawson's car flew into the front of the catch fencing. Halifax Medical Center representative Byron Cogdale said one adult is in surgery with life-threatening head trauma and a 14-year-old is in critical but not life-threatening condition. NASCAR Vice President Steve O'Donnell said NASCAR will conduct a complete investigation of the incident to determine if safety changes are needed. Mike Rizzioni, the 1980 U.S. hockey team captain's jersey, sold for $657,250 on Saturday, as well as his hockey stick in an auction by Heritage Auctions in New York City. Chris Ivey, director of the sports auctions for Heritage, said, "The Miracle on Ice is clearly one of those moments where you knew where you were. It transcends sports and has become part of pop culture." Heritage Auctions also sold 18 other Rizzioni items on Sunday. GSU football walk-on tryouts have been scheduled for the upcoming 2013 season. All participants must be enrolled full-time at GSU and have a current minimum GPA of 2.5 or higher. The participants also must be cleared by the academic staff, sports medicine staff, and compliance staff at GSU. The final deadline for accepting tryout forms is 4 p.m. on Thursday, February 28th. Last Friday, the GSU baseball team beat Grambling State 8-7 on Joey Roach's 7th inning single for the go-ahead run. Georgia State made a 3-run rally in the 5th inning to take the lead 7-5, before letting Grambling State tie the game at 7-7. Georgia State baseball manager Greg Frady said, "Joy is a young player, but he is a clutch player." Freshman Matt McCloskey came into the 7th inning and earned the victory in the relief. Alec Ogletree, the prior UGA linebacker, was arrested earlier this month for a DUI. Ogletree is a likely first-round pick in April's NFL draft this year. This DUI arrest could change the team's decisions about drafting Ogletree because this is not the first stint he has had off the field. Ogletree missed UGA's first 4 games this past season after failing numerous drug tests during spring practice. I'm Sean White, and this has been your Panther Report Sports Update.
That's all for your Panther Report news. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode.
Don't forget to check us out on Channel 91 in University Housing and on our YouTube page, GSTV Panther Report, every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Make sure to like us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Panther Report. I'm Richard Moy.
And I'm Satara Koot. Have a good night.